Hello, and welcome to an episode where we unpack the time that Kevin cheated on me and how I found out about it on Valentine's Day in bed. More about that later, though. Hello, friends, and welcome to today's Chat with Kevin episode. We're going to share with you how we celebrated Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah, well, it was in a juggernaut. We were in prison for our anniversary. So we went to...
That's where he deserves to be, for cheating on me.
Well, we actually went a couple of weeks ago to a cafe that you'd suggested. We took Charlotte for lunch. And it was at the Pentridge in Melbourne, which is a jail that closed down in 1997. So it's been turned into a precinct that has historical tours. They do... there's houses in there now.
There's houses, there's apartments.
Cafes, restaurants, bars, etc. And a really nice restaurant that we saw called Northern Common, where we were walking around that day. And you made the suggestion that maybe we should book it for Valentine's Day, and which we did. And then I noticed that there's a really lovely hotel called the Adina Hotel, or Adina Apartments, which is a big high-rise hotel in the grounds of Pentridge.
Sorry to interrupt, to switch. Which is built above the original cells of the convicts, of the inmates. And there's a beautiful in-ground pool that they've created, which is a relaxation pool. And yet above there, they've opened up the spaces of where the cells used to be and turned them into this really cool bar where you can actually go and sit in the areas that they've opened up. I did take some footage and I will insert it here as we're talking so you can see what I'm talking about. And they've turned it into this really cool bar that you can go and have tapas and nice drinks, but in what used to be the old Pentridge jail.
Or I assume it wasn't actually that bad in jail, if that was the facilities that they might have had.
Well, because they did have a swimming pool and a gym facility and a bar. Correct. I don't think it was quite like that at the time, though, no.
Maybe for the people that behaved.
But let's step back in time a little bit. So on this week, Kevin had to travel to Perth for a meeting, and he had a story to tell me. Charlotte and I on Friday night were heading out. I think it was Friday night or Thursday night because Valentine's Day was Friday.
Thursday.
So on Thursday night, Charlotte and I were going to Doncaster to do some, I was getting my nails done. Because riveting information here. Anyway, we're on the road and Kevin messages me and says, guess what?
I think I sent her a photo first. I was in the Virgin Lounge, minding my own business, quietly working away. I actually finished my day. It was a 2-day trip. Perth's really hard to do in a day, so I had really one day of business and a day spare. So I went to the Virgin Lounge early, waiting for my 3 o'clock flight. I was doing emails and work from the lounge. And just as I was about to pack up and head to the gate, 2 women approached me and asked me if my name was Kevin, which is, yes, I'm Kevin. And are you Kevin from Deborah After 50? I'm like, yes, I am. That's my wife, Deborah. They were very excited to meet me, which I was pretty chuffed by. Spoke a bit about Deborah. We took some photos. I sent Deborah a photo. Maybe she'll add it to the video.
It was Sharon and...
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that. I'm on the phone.
Hello, you know who you are. I think it was Sharon, and I'd have to look up on my phone, but I'm filming now, so I can't remember. I'll add a photo here because it was so exciting for Kevin to be famous by association and getting recognised.
Yeah, I said to Deb, I'm going to have to start wearing a Groucho mask so that people won't recognise me in public. That was good. It was really lovely to see how people really adore Deb and come up and even talk to me about her. It was really special. So that was...
Yeah, that was the excitement for him to be recognised in public. It's happened to me a couple of times now. Every time it happens, I just get chuffed by the fact that so many people watch me so close by and that you see me as a friend, which is really how I see you. The virtual friends that I've never met, but that I can catch up over coffee, over a drink, and just share my life with you. And I feel that it's a real situation because what I show you is not made up. apart from the fact that I put on makeup before I go on camera, but that's the extent of my made-up situation. But I wanted to add that a number of you are messaging me, during the week, and I love it. I love interacting with you. But sometimes I don't have the time to respond, or sometimes you ask me a question related to something that I'm filming and I don't want to give away the storyline. So I sort of say, hey, thanks for asking. I'm going to talk about that in an upcoming video. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. I'm just sort of like trying to keep a balance between what's happening in my day-to-day life as I live life, but also engage with everyone who makes the time and effort to reach out to me. But sometimes I'm busy. I'm up in the car going somewhere, or like what happened this weekend, a number of people messaged me asking me how Valentine's Day was, but I was actually living my Valentine's Day weekend, so I really didn't have time to reply to everyone. So I may have appeared a little bit short saying, hey, thanks for asking. There's an upcoming video about it. So apologies if I came across as abrupt. I don't mean to, but sometimes I'm just in the moment living my life, but I will share about it later on. So anyway, enough about that. We have a lot to talk about. I made loads of notes. So meeting the subscriber and celebrating Valentine's Day in Pentridge. So we checked into the Adina, and if you've never been there, I highly recommend it. It's a really lovely hotel. It's got the in-ground swimming pool, which is what we went and used. And then we went back to our room, changed up and freshened up for dinner. And dinner was a set menu because of Valentine's Day, and it was absolutely delicious. We walked in and we were given a cocktail of raspberry. What's it called? That's Prosecco mixed with...
Actually tasted like cough medicine.
Well, mine was stronger than his. So when I sipped it, I thought, oh no, this would have been delicious had it not been so strong, the syrup that they used. So when the server came out to ask us how it was going, I said, I'm so sorry, but this tastes like cough medicine to me. I think they just went a little bit heavy on the syrup, and I just can't finish it. Is there any chance that it could be swapped out for a Prosecco? Totally understand if it can't, but I'm not enjoying it. I just, I'd appreciate it if you could make an allowance and change. So yeah, no problem whatsoever. So she took it away and brought me just a straight glass of Prosecco, which I enjoyed a lot more. Kevin, on the other hand...
I was too embarrassed to ask for a change, so I just kept with it, even though it wasn't the most enjoyable. I think I made a nicer cocktail for you for your birthday at home.
Yeah. And it's not, like, I'm not trying to be difficult, but the way I look at it is, if there's a possibility that it could be changed, and I'm being polite, I'm not being difficult and saying, this is terrible, how can you serve? I was just politely saying, I'm so sorry, to my taste, this reminds me of cough medicine and I'm not enjoying it. Is there a possibility that you can change it? And I feel that if you go with that kind of approach, 9 times out of 10, people will change it and understand. I mean, they don't want to serve you something that you're not going to enjoy.
Yeah.
So the food was delicious, I have to say, absolutely divine. Enjoyed every serving of it. So that was lovely. But afterwards was exciting because here comes Louis. He wants to join in. What are you guys doing? Who are you talking to? He missed me. He was so upset that I spent the night away. Anyway, what about that later? So after dinner, we went on a tour of Pentridge, and it finished at H Block. Mm-hmm. And the tour guide's name was Luigi, and he coincidentally used to be a legal studies teacher at the Coburg High School, really close by. He was born in the area, grew up in the area, and remembers the area when Pentridge was still an active prison, an active jail, and now he's conducting tours as in his retirement years, and he loves it. And he was telling us so many stories, wasn't he, about how the area was, and he gave us some history about how the prisoners were treated, which was extremely unethical. Let's just leave it that way. The stories that we heard were not pleasant, but one story that I found really interesting was that the stonework that makes up the walls of Pentridge, bluestone, was actually not quarried.
It was quarried from where Edwards Lake is, apparently. That's where a lot of it came out of.
Yeah, so they used to bring out these big, huge stones, and then the prisoners would work in a completely uncovered area, summer, winter, rain, hail or shine,
Rock breaking.
and they'd get these big, huge stones and then cut them into beautiful rectangle, what would you call it, like a rectangle?
Blocks.
Like a block, a rectangular block. Beautiful, and that's what the facade of the buildings are actually built out of. And when you look at all those stones, he said touch them and see if you can feel the energy from it. I didn't feel any energy from it, but maybe I'm not sensitive or in tune with my emotions that way. But I do know that walking through Pentridge, you do feel a little bit of that pain that would have been felt at the time.
Yeah. He also mentioned the difference between why some of the blocks were smooth finished and others being rough. Apparently, if they're smooth, they can't easily climb walls to try and jump over. They had one of the prisoners that did try and escape. After the guard fired 2 warning shots, he still continued to climb the wall. This side of the wall was rough, so he could get a grip onto it. Eventually they shot and killed him. So interesting hearing those sort of stories about kind of what went on in those sort of prisons. He also talked about when he was at school, whenever he would play up as a student, his teacher would tell him off and said, if you don't behave, you'll end up one day at Pentridge. And he said, well, if only my teachers could see me now. I am at Pentridge, but as a tour guide. Yeah. So I did end up here. Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah. He was a bit of a character, Luigi. Really sort of fitted the role. Almost made you a little bit treating, I can imagine, almost like a prison warden in the way he came across. A bit tough. Quite tough and that was a fun night. It was actually part of the package. We didn't really plan for that. Originally, when we booked for the dinner, it was just, we looked at the venue, thought this looked pretty nice. Let's just organise dinner for Valentine's Day. And then they contacted me to let me know that they're doing a set venue for Valentine's Day, and there was the option to also include the tour, which made sense. We were there, something to do and see. So that became a part of Valentine's Day. It was a little bit expensive. Normally I buy Deb a dozen red roses every Valentine's Day. I told her after we spent a fair bit on the accommodation and the evening that maybe we should not buy each other's any presents. I still bought her at least one red rose. Rose and lollies. And some chocolates. Yummy chocolates. My favourite, by the way, if you're into Lindt and you like chocolate, my favourites are the Nutella ones. Louis, he has to be in on the action. The hazelnut ones. Oh, these are my favourites. Which ones are your favourites? The white chocolate ones and the gold.
These ones here?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so then let's get to the tea, shall we? So we wake up in the morning and we didn't have to check out till 11 o'clock. So we didn't have to check out till 11 o'clock. So we're lying in bed, relaxing, and we start talking about our new addiction, TV addiction, maths. And Kevin starts saying, this particular person on maths is coming across as really mean. At the dinner party, they didn't have a nice thing to say about anyone. And I looked at him and I said, I don't remember seeing the dinner party yet. Which episode was that? Did I sleep through it?
That's when I realised, oops, I may have cheated on you. When I was in Perth, when I finished on the Wednesday night, I was at my hotel. I couldn't even be bothered going out and getting dinner, so I just organised Uber Eats at the hotel and sat in front of the TV and put the TV on, and MAFS was on. And we've kind of been watching MAFS now for a few seasons. Yeah. I kind of really got into it a few seasons ago now. I think we've watched it together ever since.
It's our secret pleasure.
I find it ridiculous, to be honest with you. Some of the couples that are matched up together, you've always end up with something to say about one of them or several. Yeah. So I was in Perth and I secretly watched.
He cheated on me and watched MAFS on his own.
Ahead of her. And got caught out when I was talking about it and forgotten that we hadn't watched it together. So I'm going to have to sit through it and watch it with her again.
And give you the highlights
Keep
now.
my mouth shut so I can tell you
No, you don't tell me lies. Anyway, tell me, should I still keep him even though he cheated on me?
Yeah, no, a whole episode ahead of you.
All right. So then we woke up in the bed, and I hadn't realized lately, I've recently changed, probably for the last 12 months or so, to a silk pillowcase. And I hadn't really thought about, well, I hadn't personally thought I'd seen any improvement. But sleeping on a cotton pillowcase in the hotel, I'm a tummy sleeper with my face smooshed into the pillowcase. I woke up and I had creases that you wouldn't believe all across my cheek, my eyes. I looked like I was 95 years old with all these wrinkles and creases on my face. And it made me think about, okay, I don't want to look like that when we're in Europe for all that time, waking up with creases, because it takes a long time then for the creases to go away, and makeup doesn't cover them. So I've got to make a note to remember to pack either my pillowcase, but then remember to take the pillowcase off every night, and I know I'm going to forget that. So maybe pack my pillow with my pillowcase in one of those.
Well, we need two, because I'll need to bring my silk pillowcase. I noticed that the cotton was actually fairly abrasive and fairly rough.
Yeah.
I went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, I had no hair left. Like, it was all gone. I think rubbing on the pillow at night, I just lost it all.
You're funny.
Yeah, we'll need two silk pillows.
So then and then last night, Saturday night, so we came home afterwards, and we actually had an afternoon nap because we were exhausted from our late night on Friday night. And we knew that we had a late night then last night because we had the Bryan concert that Tiffany and her boyfriend Lohan had bought for us at Christmas. And we were looking forward to it, but I kid you not, I could have easily just stayed home in my PJ. Anyway, we got dressed up and we went out, and the opening act was James Arthur. And my daughter said to me, oh, you know him. He sang that song in
The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman. I thought, oh, I can't remember. It wasn't even the song that I thought it was that he sang. Anyway, he opens up and he says, all right, I am the opening act and I am here to get you up and going, warmed up for Adam. So, no, for Bryan Adams. So, come on, guys, I want to see you getting up and jumping up and down. And I turned around to Kevin and I said, I don't think he's read the audience.
Yeah, most of the people were probably our age, maybe even a bit older.
A little bit older, but there is a section that I will show you that I'll insert because that was a bit.
Mind you, we've been to nearly every Bryan Adams concert.
And they've never done that.
In Australia, and we've never seen that before.
No. So anyway, I don't know whether YouTube is going to allow me to play the audio of the footage here, but I'll put some in the background so you can see it. And if not, I'll just, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it. But it was a beautiful night and we had fun.
Now, bear in mind, Bryan Adams has a bit of a significance for us as well.
Yeah.
In the song, when we first started dating, the song "Everything I Do It For You."
When you find me there, you'll search no more.
Was actually a song that was kind of like really hot at the time. It was probably in
1991.
Yeah. And it was a song that kind of resonated with me and you when we first started dating. And I think the very first day we went out for a date, it just happened to be on the radio on the way home from Calder Park. And it was a really lovely song to sort of listen to the words. And the way I really felt about Deborah then, those words have sort of still continued on in the way we think of each other and live our lives about each other. And so we've been to a lot of his concerts, and we weren't planning on this one. It was actually
it was a surprise from our daughter. We sort of said, "Oh, come on!" One, we're a little bit strapped with our entertainment funds this year, so we were being cautious. But when our daughter and her partner surprised us with it, it was like, okay, it was meant to be. So we went. But so James Arthur, just to put it in perspective, sings the song "1,000 Years." I Love You 1,000 More. It's that song. I'll put a little bit here so you can let you know.
Oh my God, so certainly goes away somehow. We'll hear you sing if you know the words. One step closer. It's beautiful.
And then we were watching Bryan Adams, and to get the audience, enthusiastic, he turned around and he said something about, was it when he said, he compared us to Brisbane and said that the Brisbane audience can get really rowdy, and
Some even took their top.
someone even took their top off, and I wonder whether Melbourne can better them. So he starts playing this song, and I kid you not, women my age and older start taking their tops off, and in their bras started popping away and singing away. I was hilarious.
It was very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun anyway. So yes, even at our concerts it can get quite rowdy and quite interesting. And then it finished, and as we were walking out, it was bucketing down.
As you come out of Rod Labour, there's virtually no cover.
No.
There was like full packed arena.
Yeah,
So there were thousands of people coming out, and we got absolutely drenched.
Yeah.
And we parked in the city in Flinders Street because we hadn't organised parking near the concert. And we walked actually from the tram stop to Rod Labour. And then we were planning to either catch the tram back or walk back.
Yeah.
But it was horrible. We were absolutely soaked. Even waiting for the tram,
oh,
there's
we were all standing like sardines. Some people had an umbrella, and we had an umbrella in the car, and even though I said I was going to bring it, I forgot to take it out with me. And so we were just standing there in the rain.
there's virtually no coverage. There's a couple of little shelters as you get really close to the tram tracks. So everyone was just standing in the rain, queuing up, and there was hardly any trams coming through.
No, I don't understand why it is that at the end of a concert, you know you're going to have thousands of people. Why not coordinate to have 10 trams on standby to come and pick up people?
Especially when they serve alcohol in there,
Yeah.
which a lot of people were drinking. They want you not to drink and drive. They encourage you to catch public transport. It should be more available.
It should have
It was
been. It's
probably
disappointing.
One tram every 10
10
minutes.
minutes. Oh.
And thousands of people just trying to get home and figure out ways in the rain not to get wet, which was near impossible. But it added to the adventure.
Yeah, it was fun, which meant that even though the concert finished after 11, we didn't get home till close to 2. When I woke up this morning at about 10, I was exhausted, which led me to think, we've just spent maybe 2 days and maybe 2 late nights, sort of not in the comfort of our own, well, the second night was in the comfort of our own bed, but not living our normal life, and we're exhausted. How are we going to cope for 31 days when we go away to Europe later this year? So I'm going to be asking you, if you have travelled on a ticket tour or later in life, at our age, on a bus tour that's, a week or more, how did you cope? How did you manage to be able to relax and not feel completely exhausted after day 2? I just can't imagine after having 2 late nights.
Well, as I said to Deb this morning, I reckon we'll probably end up waking up one morning and miss the bus.
Sorry. Or just sleeping through on the bus and missing out on
Maybe
all the
sleeping on the
views.
bus.
Oh, I don't want to do that though. So please, if you've got any advice, if you've been on those tours, share it with us, because I want to make the most of it. And since we're going to be sleeping in a different bed every night, how did you cope? What are some tips and tricks that worked for you?
Maybe we've got to go to training prior to it and go out every night between now and then. Just get that muscle memory going.
It'll be exhausting. Let me see, did I put all that in there? Yep. Okay, and then drum roll.
Yeah, so Deb's been talking about this idea, and she was sort of wanting to ask my opinion of it. And I know even from the interaction I had with the women in Perth, Deb wants to host an event
A
where
meet and greet.
she can meet some subscribers. We're still in the planning stages for it, so realistically in this video, if it's something you see yourself, if you're in Melbourne that you'd like to attend.
If we organise something in the northeastern side, so it's closer to me as a first-time event organiser.
We're hoping maybe even the opportunity, certainly I'll be there, maybe some of our kids might be there as well, and there'll be an opportunity for a Q&A. We're hoping to organise that people, when they register, can send us a question. Then we'll pick from them, hopefully as many as we can, for Deb to answer. It'll give us an opportunity for people to meet with Deb, take their photo with Deb.
Well, I'm thinking I can organise some champers or, you know, some sparkling wine, some pink lemonade for those that don't drink, maybe host it somewhere where we have an opportunity to do some shopping together. I don't know, there's so many ideas, but it is limited to how much interest there is in this. So if you like the idea and would be open to coming to an event like this in Melbourne at this stage, please give a comment.
Maybe just say yes, I'm interested.
Yes, I'm interested at the bottom in the comments.
We need to gauge how many people would be interested so we can pick a venue and a
size venue, yeah.
Suit, and then we can plan accordingly. Deb even talked about maybe the possibility of even like a little show bag or door prizes.
Yeah. So if I know how many people in advance, then I can reach out to the suppliers, companies that I've been working with, and say, hey, I've got, you know, X amount of people. Would you be interested in, you know, participating in a little goodie bag? And then I can create a little goodie bag for everyone who attends. So there's lots of ideas, lots of opportunities of making it fun. I'm hoping to get it done before we go away, so in time for Mother's Day, late April. So yeah, let me know in the comments below with a big yes or a big love heart in the comments so I can count how many people are interested in coming. And yeah, we'll proceed from there. It's exciting. Lots of changes coming and lots of opportunities to interact more closely and get to know you all.
I've seen how excited people are when even we were in Doncaster together and someone came up and said hello to you. It was actually quite funny because we're actually going down a travelator escalator and someone was going up and I think you commented on their hat and they commented on your dress. And I sort of laughed and I thought she was going to say she might be your subscribers. And we literally go around the corner and this woman stops you, so excited that, oh my God, Deborah, I'm one of your followers, one of your subscribers. And it really made me realise at that point, even before these people I met in Perth, how adored you are by your subscribers. And, you know, it's really special for them to meet you too, which is why we thought an event like this might be a really nice thing to give you a chance to meet.
And it's also for me to meet you because I talked to you through the comments, but I don't know you. But I think you know more about me than I know about you, and I'd love to be able to reciprocate and sort of get to know you as well. There is one lady that I actually spoke to over the phone because she mentioned an event that she thought I'd be interested in going to, and so I called her and we spoke, and I absolutely loved it. I loved, you know, we were chatting about her life and her children and what she does, and anyway, and it was fun for me. It was the feeling that I tried to create in my videos with you, where you're catching up with a friend, is reciprocated when I actually interact with you live in person, you know, by phone, and so I'd love that. I'd love that. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you, Kevin. I know you don't love to participate in my videos, but now you're famous by association, so I feel like you need to come on a little bit more regularly.
And a maths cheater, so.
Yes, and you cheated on me on maths. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment below whether you're interested in a meet and greet, and we will see you next time. Bye.